Some things in your medicine cabinet are more dangerous than others. When it comes to prescription drugs, opioid pain medicines can be addictive and even deadly. Keeping unused opioid medicines in your home is risky. Half the people who misuse prescription pain medicines get them from a friend or family member. Over 100 Americans die every day from an opioid overdose, and millions are addicted to opioids. But you can be part of the solution to the opioid crisis. Go through your medicine cabinets, drawers, anywhere you keep unused opioid pills, patches, or syrups, and find out how to dispose of them safely. Visit fda.gov/drug disposal for details and remove the risk of opioids in your home.
If doctors, nurses, and grocery store clerks can wear a mask for 10 or 12-hour shifts, you can wear a mask for an hour or less when you go to the store. Do your part. Mask up, America.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
COVID-19 has hit our community real hard.
We're dying from coronavirus at almost double the national rate.
If we come together, we have the power to save what matters to us, our Black lives.
There's power in protecting your loved ones.
There's power in wearing a mask and social distancing.
There's power in knowing the facts and using your voice.
Let's fight COVID-19. Visit bethepowerofus.org.
Juror doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. His real name is Darion, and we call him Day-Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's affection, attention, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. Just do it from the right place. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job. I'll say my kid's pretty dope.
From Atlanta to the world, my virtual show, the Hype Magazine, Hip Hop Fraternity, and New Global Star bring you Long Live the Legends Live, featuring live performances by Goody Mob, Keith Murray, and more on Saturday, May 1st. The day starts at 12 noon with a live performance by Keith Murray at our Artist Showcase from 12 to 7. The pre-show starts at 8 p.m. hosted by Rico the Plug, Ken Ivy, and more with performances by King Yoshi, Deja Marie, Big Jig, and more. The main event starts at 9 p.m. hosted by Fort Knox with DJ Kerosene on the ones and twos. Watch it online, attend the live streaming party, or get exclusive tickets to see them live and in person at the legendary Atrium in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Get tickets now at longlivethelegends.com, starting at just $4.99 for the pre-show and up. Sponsored by Crowd Wall Street, Culture Brother Films, Rolling Out, Brantley Media, Onset and Company, Vadu Films, Street Killers Entertainment, and more.
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping, and I'm ready to fly. Time to get ready, ready for another day. Hey, no one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play. Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great. Oh, 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 oh. You do your best, best. And I do mine, mine. So let's get ready, ready, ready. It's about that time. Good morning, morning, you good morning. How do you do? Good morning. Time to be great. Good morning. Good morning. Your dance and play. Good morning. So start to day. Good morning. Open your eyes. Good morning. Reach for the sky. Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning. You see me on my grind. Woo, stars got to shine. I'm a supernova. Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah, I'm on the move. I got a way to stride to it. So let me hear you say, every day we gon' learn and play.
Hey y'all, hey.
Good morning.
Good
What's
morning.
up? What's up?
Today is Thursday, April 29th.
Yep.
Is it
We got a
April
lot to talk
29th?
about. April 29th already. May is right around the
Goodness.
corner.
Right. Oh my
Time is
God.
flying, right?
What we talking about this morning, Custom? What's up? What's going on?
Where do we start? First, one of the main things that I see that is pretty, cool to just understand is the three men that were involved in the Ahmaud Arbery case are being charged with federal hate crimes and killing of Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia.
Yeah.
As we all remember, Arbery was killed while jogging during an encounter with Travis McMichael, his father Gregory McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan last year. So apparently, they are being charged, and they were indicted on Wednesday by a federal grand jury and charged with hate crimes and attempting to kidnap. I'm glad. So we shall see. What happens within that. We're gonna stay tuned on that. What you thinking about that?
I was distracted about First King James. I don't even know what you're talking about. He should be on in a second. But I am ecstatic that they are being charged with hate crimes. I hope it sticks. I hope they go to prison. I hope they go to prison for a very long time. And I hope other people are deterred from acting out in such a manner. The entitlement
Absolutely.
is what kills me. So, hmm
No, for
how
sure,
about
for
you?
sure. I think so. I mean, I will be, hopeful that justice is met the same way, we saw justice with the Derek Chauvin trial. Um, like you said, I think that we just got to start holding these people accountable and saying like, nah, we're not going for this. You're not going to be able to get away with this and try to give us an excuse or say that this was justifiable because of your means. It's like, nah. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully so. But I feel like it's going to be a long, drawn out process again as well. But nonetheless, worth it. Well worth it. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought
Let me
other
check in with
stories that
Facebook.
I'm trying to check in with Facebook too. All this multitasking. It's not natural to multitask. It's not. A lot of people think it is. It's not. People be like, no, I can multitask. Well, you shouldn't because you're not affected.
Right.
I'm talking to
But
myself.
nah. So I
So
mean,
what else?
we got another story. The brand, the hair brand Carol's Daughter. The owner, celebrity doula, creates an organization to combat Black maternal morbidity. So that's pretty cool. The organization also plans to work with lawmakers to pass H.R. 959, also known as the Black Maternal Health Act of 2021. That's cool. Two Black women have teamed up to raise an awareness about the health crisis that Black mothers face during pregnancy and childbirth. Black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy related causes than white women. Yes. This disparity increases with age, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Lisa Price, the founder of Carol's Daughter, and celebrity doula Latham Thomas, creator of the Mama Glow Foundation, joined forces to start Love Delivered. The organization plans to raise awareness about Black maternal health amongst, I'll get this, 100 million people. They plan to engage 10,000 people to be advocates for Black birthing people over the next 3 years. Nice. It also says it will empower, support, and equip Black birthing people and the greater community to advocate for their health and wellness by providing expanded access to doula services, training for doulas, and resources for families, birth workers, partners, and allies to be well informed and supporting positive birthing experiences. Nice. That is definitely an issue that we as a Black culture have to address and be aware of. Black morbidity is a big thing, and the more and more I grow, I learn about a lot of these different things. My girlfriend is a doctor, and she talks to me about certain things, and I just realized and found out what a doula was. So if you guys don't know what a doula is, I believe let me look up the actual term so that I can be able to give you guys an accurate definition. So, a doula is a woman typically without formal obstetric training who is employed to provide guidance and support to a pregnant woman during labor. So, doulas, I guess, are helpful when it comes to the childbirth and being able, a midwife, as you may. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So, shout outs to Carol Daughter. They're not just doing good things for your hair, but doing good things and great things for Black women. Um, Next, we got the Major General William Walker makes history as the first Black House Surgeon at Arms. Wow, that is big. That is big. Um, Sources say he will escort President Joe Biden down the center aisle of the House chambers during his address before a joint session of Congress. Um, Major General William Walker was sworn in as House Surgeon at Arms on Monday, becoming the first Black person to hold the position. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi issued the oath of office to Walker. He will also escort President Joe Biden down the center aisle, said that, House chambers during his address before a joint session of Congress. So shout outs to him. That's pretty big. It is a historic appointment as the first Black American to serve as Sergeant at Arms. Yeah, that's pretty cool. As we can see in this picture, that's him. All right. What else we got here? So, next thing in news, the U.S. Census Bureau releases 2020 data, announces the change to congressional seats. So, what they're saying is the data is usually released on April 1st, but it was delayed this year due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Census Bureau says that the state census released showing that population of more than 331 million people. This is the country's second slowest population growth rate in history. The states are gaining one seat in Congress are Colorado, Florida, Montana, North Carolina, and Oregon, while Texas gains 2 seats. California, Illinois, Michigan, New York City, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia will all lose congressional seats. So I guess they're saying that since the slow and population increase has changed with the census, the population not increasing as fastly or swiftly as it has in the past. Apparently, that's affecting the census. I mean, the congressional seats. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I didn't realize that the census would affect, the congressional seats. But hey, I guess that definitely does. Let's see. I was trying to see some more within that. But today, you guys, we're going to have a great show. They're saying that means that people have moved into states and moved out of states. So apparently, folks have left from, I guess, hot spots of COVID and moved to other different locations trying to mitigate, their propensity of catching the disease or the virus. And yeah, I didn't realize that those were two things that correlated. But today's going to be a great show, you guys. We got some special guests coming on soon. I'm holding it down for right now. You know what I mean? This is your Rolling Out Wake Up AM call. I am your host, or one of your hosts, Custom. Let's see here. We got an event that's going on. It's called Black Artists in the World. Let me tell you a little bit about that. Black Artists in a White World, excuse me. So, meaning that we will be having, for thousands of years, Black artists have inspired American and European art, culture, music, and design. Despite their proven genius, these artists are exploited and their impact is minimized while others take the credit for their ideas. Many creatives of color have found that representation by blue chip art galleries and Ivy education or co-signed by a white artist is the only way to achieve true success in the art world, which we all know that is false, but a lot of times that is what occurs, which does not have to be the case if Black people create and control their own narrative through collective economics. Black Artists in the White World is a survey of Black artists who create through the deep love of their culture. Their work embodies the positive and negative aspects of being a Black artist in a white world. All right, shout outs to that. That event will be going down May 15th through June 15th of this year. Make sure you get your tickets. You can log on to or email sales@blackartistinawhiteworld.com for more information. As well as you can visit blackartistinwhiteworld.com to purchase your tickets. And that is sponsored by Good Girl PR and the good folks over at Rolling Out. Yes, sir. Let's see what else we got here. It is a free event as well. So you guys make sure you tune in and go to that. What's better than free? And supporting your Black local artists is a great, great thing. A great thing.
We had
for sure.
Nikki from Good Girl PR come on, and she was talking about that event last week. So that's gonna be a really great event. I think it's May 16th, and it runs for a month.
Yeah.
Artist.
May 15th through the June 15th.
May 15th. Okay, and Munson Steed he's gonna be portraying his art. There are gonna be several other people who are going to be there, Black, of course. But that should be a really cool event. Super cool. And then I got a chance to check the comments. I missed a couple of your news reports, Custom. I apologize for that. But Jean was in the comments talking about she wanted to be a doula. I'm like, okay, girl, you want to be a doula?
Right. So, so one of these stories that I was just broadcasting, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Carol's daughter, the infamous hair care product, is actually working with a doula to be able to help advocate for to combat, Black maternal morbidity. So they're actually working to get a law passed, as well as they're raising awareness about the health crisis that Black mothers face during pregnancy and childbirth. And I
Yeah,
was sharing with everyone
great.
that I recently found out what a doula was. I didn't really know, but I mean, that's a cool little,
It's
position to
super
have.
cool.
And right, and nonetheless, something that is definitely necessary. I mean, I believe me, correct me if I'm wrong. Erica Badu is a doula, I believe,
Erica
and
Badu
she,
is definitely a doula. Yes, she is.
yeah, and she actually assisted in the childbirth of Tiana Taylor, so
She did.
that was pretty cool. Yeah,
That was cool. That's super cool. When you can go and explore and do things that you think you may want to do and actually bring them to reality, such as, Erica Badu is a complete artist. She's a whole artist. We know because she's sensitive about her stuff, but she just, manifested that thing, and I think it's a great thing. My girlfriend, when I was pregnant, she was a labor and delivery nurse. She's now the director of a hospital down in Dallas. But when she was a labor and delivery nurse, like, I don't know what I would have done if she wasn't in the delivery room with me twice for both of my babies. The second baby was actually on her son's first birthday. Uh, and so she left his birthday to come be in the hospital with me and help me give birth. But she also said that she wanted to be a doula, but she settled on, well, I'm not going to say settled. She landed on labor and delivery nurse. Yeah.
gotcha.
Hmm.
Cool.
Anyway, I
It
want to
was
go
it
to
was.
Facebook. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, no,
No,
no.
no, no.
I was going to ask you a question about. I didn't know. So it was something in regards to the census that it was saying something that it affected the congressional seats that we had, and I was curious. I didn't know that that had any correlation, that the population increase or decrease, or with the census control the congressional seats. But I guess that makes somewhat sense because the more populated a city or a local area is, the amount of people or representatives that they need to have. So,
Yeah, Gene was also in the comments talking about New York got robbed. California got robbed. Like, really? Like, they lost a seat? That's crazy. How? I
mm,
don't know a state more populated than California. Densely populated,
right.
anyway. I don't see how they
Texas,
could.
California.
Texas, California. Florida didn't lose a seat. Florida should have lost a seat.
Yeah, it means that the folks left from California trying to get away from that COVID.
Right.
But
But I want
hey,
to check in with
and it's probably
Facebook, y'all.
expensive as hell. Yep.
Well, that part. But I haven't checked in with Facebook yet. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good people. I'm not in Jamaica. I don't know where that accent came from, y'all. I am in Florida. I'm not in Jamaica. Okay. Um, but anyway, Jeffrey, Philip Hicks, good morning. Teru, good morning. Jamal Tippin, good morning. Hey girl, hey, Connie Samuels. Iris Baker, good morning. Nicholas Craig, good morning. Jean, hey girl, hey. Nathan Westcott, Lisa Lyons, Anthony Allen, all of y'all, good morning. We appreciate y'all for rocking out with us. Hey D, hey girl, hey. She says Californians have been moving to Texas since Rick Perry invited them years ago. All right, girl. Yeah,
Oh
give us
wow.
back our seats. Oh, on my way to. You on your way? Come on, Saru. What we doing? Cause I didn't make the reservations for the yacht. You gonna handle all that? Cause I just need to know.
That sounds good. What part of Florida are you in?
I'm in Miami.
Oh,
I'm in Miami.
look at you.
I,
I saw it in using the hotel room behind you. I was like, she changed up her.
listen. Listen, I want to open this because my view is beautiful. Definitely relaxing. So yeah,
Well, that's
I'm just
nice.
it's girls.
Enjoy it.
I came down early. The girls get in today, so it's just a girls trip throughout the weekend. I came down on Monday, and they all arrived today. So it's gonna be a chill little vibe. I've been cool
Nice.
all week by myself. I've been cool
That's
all week by
good.
myself. So, nonetheless, Taru talking about I can do all things. Make that happen. Make it happen. I'm ready. Swimsuit ready.
Right.
Anyway, before we get into it, I heard you introducing some of our guests. So we have a jam-packed show today, y'all. Keith Murray is coming on at 8:45. We have some good people from Minneapolis coming on. One of the jurors from the Derek Chauvin case, he's scheduled to come on, as well as Nikema. She's an attorney out there in Minneapolis. She came on a couple weeks ago, gave us some great information. She over there being blessed by Oprah too. If you guys go check her Instagram, Oprah sends her an abundance of flowers and gratitude, just saying thank you for the work that she's doing on the ground out there in Minneapolis. And then Goody Mob, they're coming on at, wait a minute, before Goody Mob, we also have an attorney. Attorney Jones is coming on as well. And then Goody Mob, they're coming on at 9:45. So y'all stay tuned. We got a great show. I'm looking at the chat. TJ be trying to get me canceled, y'all. Let's go to Wendy. And it's the
What's Wendy talking about?
I don't know if y'all saw the exchange between Wendy and Jocelyn. I really wanted Terry on for us to have this discussion because First King James, he interviewed Jocelyn. And I want him to talk about what his experience was like interviewing Jocelyn. Because Jocelyn and Wendy had I'm going to say it was a warm exchange. It wasn't necessarily heated. And hopefully we can go to the video. I'm not sure if the video is queued up, but there's an Instagram video on Wendy's IG where the two had an exchange. And I don't know if Jocelyn was looking for her moment, but they kind of both got each other, right? So they kind of both clapped back with each other. Is this the video? Let's go. I'm not sure if this is the video or not.
I'm an accomplished woman, and I just feel like every time I come to your show, you don't give me those flowers now, you know? And you're 35 years my city.
Ow, yes.
I should get those flowers by you. I should feel wanted by people like you. Not just me, all the other young girls.
You are wanted by me. I always say that you're very entertaining.
But we feel like you be trying us. We feel like you don't be really rooting for us. You know, we feel like, and especially with me, every time I come on your show, you always want to compare me to another broad. I don't need to be compared. I've made my own brand. I've made my own brand for years. You know, I've been out here for the past decade. I got my own show. I franchised my own show to another network. I have the #1 show in the country. I have the actual cabaret show.
No, you have the #1 show on Zeus, and you got renewed for a third season, which is to be commended.
The #1 show in the country, Miss Wendy.
It's okay.
And I just want you to know that, I want you to know how I feel. I want you to know that I feel like every time I come on here.
You feel undervalued? Well, so do I, okay? You know what, Jocelyn, because you're part of pop culture, this is what I do. But if you possibly think that I leave here every day and don't feel undervalued for something that I do, you know, as a woman, we're not gonna even talk about race, just as a woman, I still don't make that dollar for dollar men make. So please, anyway, shoe cam, please. Let me see your shoes.
Yeah.
But stop, Jocelyn.
Listen, I'm making pretty cool money. I own my own show, so you should be doing the same thing. But as a woman to woman, and this is not about men, woman to woman, we should uphold each other higher, not go against each other or compare woman to other women, when every woman out here in the game, especially pop culture, is handling their business and is doing great. It's doing amazing. There's no other girl that came from television, I came from the gutter. I came from the streets. I came from the gutter. Give me that respect, Miss Wendy Williams. Okay. We love you, but at the same time, you have to do better. You're not in an abusive relationship anymore. You don't deal with that man anymore. You should be in a better place. And when people come on your show, especially Black culture, you should be nicer to us, the ladies. You should respect us. You should give us our flowers while we're here. And you should tell us how proud you are of what we've done in the streets.
Well, I'm not proud of all. And what I've been through makes me even harder on young women. Like, you can do better. Now, can we get back to the show at hand?
Oh,
So, yeah. So they both were kind of clapping at each other. Jocelyn hit below the belt on some of them. You know, she was like, "You're not with that abusive man no more, so you should do better. You should give me my flowers now. You should be more open and receptive to Black women or women of color coming on your show." And Wendy was just like, okay, okay, if this is what you wanted, this is the moment that you wanted. Okay, girl, go ahead, you got it. And so I know some of that stuff had to sting with Wendy, especially the relationship comment. And then she also shaded her when she was like, "You 35 years my senior."
right. That was
Like,
disrespectful.
girl, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I think that it, it just felt like she came on there and she was on her soapbox and she was just like, I'm about to get up, I'm about to do it, I'm about to get her, I'm about to, you know how when women come on there and they try to talk to Kevin Samuels and they're like, I'm gonna be the one, I'm gonna be the one today, I'm gonna tell him off. That's how I feel like she got up there and she was just like, I'm about to tell Wendy off, I'm about to talk for everybody and try to advocate for all the young women, but you can't do that. You on this woman's show. She's That's disrespectful to her. She's invited you to her show. You're a guest on her show, and you're coming here shooting, you know what I mean, taking shots at her and sounding very entitled because it's like, I got the number one show in the country. It's like, true, but I mean, like she said, is it on Zeus or is it on in the nation? Is it the number one show in the nation? Like, are you on HBO? Are you on ABC? Are you on, one of these? I can't. It's like,
listen,
ma'am,
Jocelyn was definitely looking for her moment. She got it with Wendy. Wendy should have shut it down, right? And I know
yeah,
some of these shows are live, and so it being her show, she should have just said, "Cut. We're not doing this today. Thank you. Have a great day," or whatever. You know, she should have done something.
for
I
sure.
think something else. But there was, if we looked at the entire clip, there was a segment where Wendy basically was like, "What are we doing? Should we cut? Like, what? Either we're gonna get back to the show or we gonna continue. Like, what are we doing?" And then there was also a moment. It wasn't in this clip where um, Wendy had some fake rose petal flowers and started throwing them at Jocelyn. And was like, "You want your flowers here? Here. Just, let's
I
keep
saw
going."
that. Yeah. I feel like
But
Jocelyn, you can't forget how we first found you. You can't forget, make us try to forget how we first were introduced to you because we'll never forget. So, just because you try to think that, you know what I mean, listen, we remember you and Stevie J tussling and fighting, trying to fight Erica Dixon and Scrappy at Icon at studios here in Atlanta. Like, we remember, you know what I mean? So it's like, I get it. Everybody got you know, what I mean, a capability of being able to mature and progress. But come on, stop it. Like they say on
girl,
Facebook, Jocelyn, you're delusional. You're delusional, Jocelyn.
just stop. Stop. Just
Yeah,
like, so I really wanted the first King James to chime in because he also interviewed Jocelyn, and I wanted to know what his experience is like. Was it similar? Did they have some moments, that type of thing? She's definitely a loose cannon. She is
yeah,
definitely a loose cannon, and she's outspoken. She says what she wants to say, and sometimes she's looking for a moment, and that's what happened. She was looking for that moment and she got it. So that's interesting.
right.
Move on. So I don't know if First King James is coming or what, but we're gonna move on. And if we have time, we'll go back to it. If not, we're not gonna worry about it. So yesterday, oh wait, before we go, because I do want to get to these comments. Um, wait a minute. So Taru said Wendy's wig should be on the floor. And then Kathleen said, "Never forget who Wendy is. She earned her queen title." Yes. Anna says, "Hey girl, hey." Jocelyn is very disrespectful. She is. Jean says, Taru, people who come on the show should know what to expect. She was making a valid point. She was making a valid point. I get it sometimes. But I just think that, I really do think that Jocelyn practiced what she was going to say, and she had a lot of this kind of like revved up and ready to go. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely. It was in this chamber,
Yeah,
and Wendy didn't even expect it coming. She didn't even see it coming.
she didn't. It was kind of like a Omarosa moment. You remember when Wendy and Omarosa had that? Now theirs was a very heated exchange. This one was milder. So anyway, so Nathan, yes, she did threaten to cut her off. Iris said Jocelyn is disrespectful to everyone, and she still acts like she is a teenager with all that fighting and ish on her show. Felicia said she may never be on another platform as Wendy. Listen, we get it. There go your moment. That might be it for you. That might be it. I don't know. Nonetheless, I am moving on. So yesterday, Custom, we brought people the story of Mendices and Yandy. They are on couples retreat, VH1. And there was some conversation. They were in the hot seat. And there was some conversation about would Mendices the same thing that Yandy did in terms of waiting for him while he was in prison. So if the roles were reversed, would Mendices wait on Yandy? And he basically sat there and said he didn't know. Then he tried to, come under the guise of I'm just being honest. Then
Oh
he
wow.
it was just like, dude, this not the moment to be honest on national TV, perhaps like a global platform, because you don't know where people are watching the show from. But that's not the moment. And so he basically just kind of embarrassed her. She was crying on TV, and she was just saying it's unfair, which I completely agree with. Like, if that's how you felt, let's save that for after the show. Don't do
Right.
that on
See,
national
and
TV.
I think right, and I think that, certain things should just be family business, you know what I mean? And you gotta say certain stuff on camera in front of folks or at the dinner table or when you're in mixed company. Now, that instance, you're in mixed company, sir. You need some couth, you need
Listen,
some tact. You
uh,
can't get out here and make your woman look crazy on national TV in 4K and disrespect her, make her look crazy. It's like,
after she held after she held down 5 businesses, after she raised your kids, after she made sure that anything that you needed was straight. Like you can't do that, sir. You
mm-mm.
can't.
No,
He
and
did
and
though.
and it's unfortunate that, you know what I mean, in his mind, he hasn't matured to the degree of where we would think he would have after being in incarceration. But you know what I
Right.
mean, incarceration doesn't necessarily mean maturation either. So it's unfortunate that, you know what I mean, you got a queen, a black queen at that, that's holding you down, like you just said, holding you down for that whole bid that you were on, not to mention raising your children, not to mention when you come back out, you not only still up, she's gotten you probably even more in the green to where y'all done made even more money. And it's like you get on here and say, I don't know. It's like,
So
if that's not
right.
the biggest
Okay.
slap in the face.
That I'm just saying it really is. But he had something to say. So he came back and he was trying to set the record straight. So he posted this on his Instagram and he said, FYI, good afternoon, Instagram, FYI, I never said I wouldn't have held Yandy down. No, sir, that's exactly what you said. Okay, it's fine. He said, I never said I wouldn't have held Yandy down. I felt like I didn't want to say what everyone wanted me to say because it sounds good and salacious. What I meant was, you don't know what you'll do until you are in that situation and they become your circumstances and you figure it out. I believe actions speak louder than words and love conquers all. And if anybody knows me, they know I love my family. However, thank you for tuning in to VH1 Couples Retreat. Make sure y'all tune in next week at 8 p.m. That's not an apology. Like that's not even setting it straight. Like I don't know if you did more damage or if you cleared it. Like that's wrong. It's just wrong to me. So
Agreed.
you don't do your wife like that, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health. Listen, right now I'm sick on national TV, and you pouring gasoline on the fire. I don't appreciate it, sir.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
anyway, hopefully, you know, they work through their situation. I hate public relationships, right? As much as you can, just keep them out the spotlight. Like, take a note from B and J and just keep them out of the spotlight. Like, we rarely see anything that has to do with family for them, family relationship or whatnot. Like, y'all just take cues from them. Stop
Right.
putting y'all relationships out on Front Street. That's all I'm saying.
Facts.
Um,
Keep something private. Something private. Like, even to the mere fact you think about people like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole, we never see their significant others, but we all know that they do. I think J. Cole is married and he even has like one kid. I think Kendrick is
oh, really?
married, but yeah, see, they're very, very
Yeah.
private people, but when it comes to their music, they give us enough to where we feel like, okay, I do feel connected to these people. I relate to them and I can identify because they identify with me. But we don't identify them with the trashy love and hip hop shit, excuse me, stuff.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah, so
Iris says, Mendices is disrespectful to Yandy just like his mother. Robert, the good Schrock, what's up, Robert? He said, I believe marriage is private. It is. And it just is. And I hate that he did her like that on national TV. It's just wrong, sir. And like I said, that I don't know if that was an apology, if you was just setting the record straight, or what you was doing or saying, but it didn't work. It wasn't working.
nah,
Didn't work.
not fam. Try again.
And then as Yandy, like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nothing. I don't think that's something that constitutes a divorce. Like, I'm going straight to divorce court because you embarrassed me on national TV. Of course, any relationship that's worth fighting for, and that's what she said. She said, I just feel like I'm not, he feels as if I'm not worth fighting for. But any relationship that's worth fighting for, you want to work through some stuff. So it's just, I don't know. I feel for her because that's your
Yeah,
husband at the end of the day. And as you cover him, he's definitely supposed to cover you and protect you. Like, I don't give a damn, sir. If that's how you feel, we're gonna talk about that after the show. You don't have me on TV looking crazy.
right.
Don't do that. So Anna says, right, Yandy held that man down unconditionally. He can't clear that up. Basically, he won't hold her down if the tables were turned. Exactly. And that's what he said, Anna. He will not hold her down if the tables was turned. I'm just saying, in any, like, sir, you sound crazy. Any answer other than of course, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, like any other answer is just,
Yeah,
I can't.
period.
And custom, the thing that he was upset about was because she wasn't responding to emails. And she may not have talked to him every single day. Like, you in there and you have all the time in the world while I'm out here holding down businesses, holding down family, holding down the bills, holding down all of this, and you're upset about a couple of emails.
And exactly, and we can't forget nor negate the fact that, listen, dude, if this is the bed that you made, you gotta sleep in it, you gotta lay in it. So no disrespect, and I know everybody has their, journey and their path or certain mishaps or whatever, and it's not to victimize or to, I guess, more so demonize someone because of what they've done. But listen, bro, like if you if you were out here doing bad and you did dirt and you got caught, let's be honest, and you got to go sit down, dude, you got to go sit down. That's what it is. So it's like you can't get mad if your woman isn't prompt responding your emails when you sending, like you said, she'll get to it. She coming. She don't. She ain't going nowhere. Yo, she got your last
And
name. She got the kids.
right, and then not to mention, he's sitting up there. He told her, "Well, you don't have to do this." Like that's his disclaimer. Like, well, I told you when I was sitting down that you didn't have to do it. Like, sir, who you talking to?
Right.
Like, who are you
Right.
talking to? Well, you
Right.
don't
Right.
have to do it.
Oh, okay.
I know I don't have to do it. Like, can you please stop demeaning me and saying you don't have to? I know I don't. I'm choosing to because you're my husband. And the fact that you can just so easily say that I don't have to do it and so nonchalantly say, well, you didn't have to do it. I understand that. But at the same time, does that mean that our relationship, our family is not worth fighting for? Because that's what it sounds like that you're saying to me. And this is the last thing we can
Right.
say about this. Iris is in the comments and she said, let's not forget that his mother spread lies about Yandy cheating on him. Dysfunctional. Dysfunctional, y'all.
Dysfunctional at its best.
Anyway, I don't know. Y'all in Facebook world, what y'all think? Should Yandy leave him over those? should Yandy leave him over those comments? Because he don't seem like he true. I'm just saying.
I don't know, man.
Right.
What they
He
saying?
said, I'll his behind back to his mama. Listen, bye. Because that's what he's saying. Taru said, next story.
Agreed.
You
Agreed.
ain't dictating nothing over here, Taru. Let's go to the cover. The cover is live. Who we got on the cover this week, y'all? CEO Marcus Barney reveals his secrets to turning credit into cash. Let's see Marcus Barney, y'all. Have y'all heard of Marcus?
Marcus Barney.
So he has the business
I like that though.
recession.
Turning credit into cash. That's how you got to do it. Extrapolate that credit, turning them good credit scores into being able to leverage for cash on demand liquid. How many of y'all know about that?
So, this story was done by N. Ali. So he was born into homelessness and forced to fend for himself before he could legally rent a hotel room. Marcus Hem 500 blossomed 500 Barney blossomed into a self-taught millionaire through hard work and dogged determination. After mastering the art of turning credit into cash while legally developing strategies that would support his immediate family, the former cell phone repairman and real estate investor developed a movement, recession proof, built to create wealth in the Black community. Whether Barney's mentees absorb the gift that is recession proof totally depends on them, but make no mistake about it, the essential tools and financial resources provided during his widely popular sessions are available to any and all entrepreneurs with a desire to learn. There are no gimmicks, fees, or obvious signs of nepotism. Just unadulterated wisdom learned from countless hours of studying and overwhelming desire to live a luxurious existence. Shout out to him. I wonder, is he in the Atlanta area?
Right. I'm not sure. What's up?
I'm laughing at the comments. Taru said, "Y'all are so good together, Portia, Monique, and Custom." And
Well, I
Jean came back
appreciate
and
that, Teru.
Jean said, not as good as you. You know, Taru come on Tuesdays. And he was kidding that I was cheating on him because he's my work husband.
I understand.
Probably being facetious. But there is some truth to it, Taru. So stop it. But I won't cheat on you, Taru, okay? I
Hey,
don't take
Taru, I got her on Thursdays. You know what I mean? We can share on
yeah, but
Tuesdays. You dig?
you know what I'm saying? We share on Tuesdays. That is funny.
We about to bring on our
So
guest.
we were waiting on we were waiting on our guest Keith Murray to show up. Let me text and see where he at, y'all. Wait a minute, I only have the number for Goody Mob. Goody Mob is coming. Okay, cool. Okay, that's cool. So what else we talking about?
Oh man. Uh,
9 o'clock. We
apparently,
got Brandon coming on from. Brandon is a juror. That was on the Derek Chauvin case. Let's bring on First King James so he can make sure we can make sure that Brandon is coming on. I know First King James was in the chat. Oh, he not there? Let me text him. What else we
but
talking
now
about, Custom?
I was saying here in Atlanta, I believe by the first week and then by the second week of May, they've changed the name for the baseball, the Brave Stadium from SunTrust to Truist Park. So Truist Park and get this Mercedes-Benz Stadium are both going to be at full capacity within the next first and 2 weeks of May. Right. But exactly. But they're saying that they're still going to require you to wear a mask unless you're drinking your beer. Now, folks are going to use that as an excuse to be like, oh, I'm drinking my beer. I'm going to keep my mask off. I just hope that, what I mean, everything doesn't necessarily go spike up. The numbers don't spike. And these are crazy, man. Like, you could just see the Brave Stadium now, folks not wearing their masks as is.
So you got your first shot, right? When is your
I've
second
got my
shot?
second one. I'm fully vaccinated now.
Oh, you got the second
Sunday,
one? Okay, good.
yeah. I had mine about 2 weeks ago now. Sunday will be 2 weeks from when I first got my second shot. So, and that second shot kind of I felt a little bit of it. You know what I mean? I started
Okay.
kind of feeling a little bit of some allergies. My eyes were watering, kind of got a little scratch, and that's when I was like, oh no, kind of a little body ache. I took a Tylenol quick fast to mitigate all of that and drank some tea. That next day I was back. I was like, yeah,
You good.
you remember that one guest we had that was like, I'm not taking off tomorrow. I'm a spike. I'm going to, psych myself into knowing that I'm going to be feeling better. And that's kind of like how I did it. I was just like, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna
Yeah.
beat this.
That was D Marshall. Yeah, she came on and she was like, "Listen, I'm not preparing to be sick. I'm going to prepare to be well." So that's what I
Yeah.
did, even though I'm down my second day. But nonetheless, I was asking because I wanted to know: are you going to these stadiums? You fully vaccinated? You going to the stadiums?
Listen, I can't necessarily guarantee that I'm gonna be at all these Braves and soccer games because that's the main ones that's going on is the Braves and like the Atlanta United. I might go to maybe one or two of the Braves, but I'm not gonna be in the stadium in the stands. Like I might be, outside tailgate somewhere
Tailgate.
for at least 6 feet still in distance and apart from people. Just because in a lot of those stadiums, as you know, them chairs are like this, and then when you're standing up, you're even more like this, and you just intertwined, and it's too much mixing going on. You know what I mean? So I'm not really here for all of that. I can't wait till we
It's
have the concerts, though. Yeah,
I'm for the outside concerts. Give me a concert outside. I'm not for being inside the venue. So
yeah.
we
No, no,
had
I
a guest
can't.
on yesterday that did a outside concert in Atlanta. You probably would have loved it. He called it Street Serenades. And he goes to a particular outside spot and he just plays whatever his heart feels. And his music was very emotional. It had me
Who's the
tearing up. I don't even
pianist?
know. Yeah,
He was the
his name
pianist,
was,
right?
yeah. Oh, you
Aaron
saw him,
Hill.
Aaron Hill. Hmm.
I checked out a little bit of it, and I saw he was playing the piano, and you guys cut to a video of it, and
Yeah,
oh yeah, it's at Krog Street Marketplace. Yeah, Krog Street is
yeah, yeah.
dope. Krog Street, and then there's a few different. They call them buskers. That's what the term of people who are on the street performing. They're called busking. That's when folks are performing and they may have like a cup or a hat or their instrument case sitting out for you to put money in it. So yeah, even on the Beltline, they have a few people that do that as well. But I'm impressed by the creativity that people, and the innovation that people have done trying to circumvent, concerts being decreased just because of COVID. I heard someone say something in regards to like a Carcella. That was a pretty cool title and name. Basically, like a drive-in concert where you could pull up and tailgate your car and watch the performances. I know Street Execs, that's Two Chainz label. They did a few different like outdoor car concerts like that where you could pull up and they have a big stage of a person being able to perform, and everybody's parked in these parking lots, the parking lot
First King
concert.
James,
So.
he's been to some of those parking lot concerts. He wasn't social distancing. This was way before the vaccinations was out.
He's
He was
long.
like,
He's in.
come on,
Let's bring Terry in.
He liked going to these outside concerts and not social distancing and taking pictures with all these celebrities because that's what he do. That's what he do.
Hey,
so
right.
What's up, First King James? He not ready. Lord Jesus, come on, First King James.
He in the locker room getting it right. Come on, King James.
Come on, let's go. So, yeah, so going back to the stadiums, D said sharing box seats for the games, LOL. Listen, so are they going to require testing or temperature taking before you go into some of these events? Do you know?
So that's the thing. No, they don't. They don't. Like TJ said, nah, they don't. You have to, there's like what is those QR codes that you scan before you go in, and you have to just basically fill out a survey that says that you don't have any symptoms, you haven't been exposed, or ask you if you've been exposed, and of course everybody's going to say no. Do you have any symptoms? Of course everybody's going to say no. You know what I mean? They want to go to the game. They want to be there.
Right.
So people will lie.
Right.
But to answer your question, they're not requiring you to have a negative test or to show you've been vaccinated, which I feel like possibly would be better to do. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't even lie. Once I got my second vaccine, I started walking around with a little bit of more of an air of confidence. And I was just like, yeah, I've been vaccinated. I'm getting my little card laminated. You know what I mean? I keep it in my wallet. Yeah, they said to, because you know what I mean, it's gonna get to that point where they're gonna be asking you, are you vaccinated? Like, I know for some of these colleges, they're making it be mandatory before you're able to come back on campus in the fall. So a lot of people aren't really excited about that, but you're not really, and see, that's the thing. It's only giving you a little bit of a small protein of, it's not even the actual virus. You're getting a small protein of it. So I mean, it's not necessarily like how bad people are making it out to be. It's just really just introducing your body to small dosages of it to be able to make sure that you can build an immunity of it to it. But you'd be surprised at some of the things I hear about it. But go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what's up, Unc? I see my uncle chimed in. Well, actually, he's on. He online. What's up, Unc? But they also want you to take a booster shot. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Every
What is this
year.
booster shot? 6 months
So
to every year?
Yeah, so I guess it's another shot to I guess strengthen your immunity. I don't know. I don't know if I'm here for it. Like, I've never taken the flu shot. I was just always good on the flu. But this one seems like it might be a little necessary. I don't know. What do you think?
We'll have to see, man. I'm gonna have to see, do my research on it. I never really was an advocate for the flu shot, excuse me, either, just because I've only had the flu one time in my whole entire adult life, and that was because I caught it from somebody that had just previously had it. It wasn't like I was just out here walking and I just caught the flu, and now you know what I mean, I got the flu now. It's like, no, my immune system, knock on wood, is a little bit or a lot better, stronger than that. So we'll see. I don't really necessarily want to go and get shot up with some type of something every 6 months to a year, but just because it's like, who wants to do that? That's like upkeep of your car, or you know what I mean? Because if you got to think, people aren't even going to the dentist every 6 months. So I mean, if you're not going to the dentist every 6 months, I know I do. I keep my shit, keep it regular. I keep my schedule regularly for every 6 months, but
Yeah.
you'd be surprised.
Iris says she not taking a booster shot. She's not. I ain't taking a booster shot. That's what my mama said too. She was like, I'm not doing a booster shot. Like, I got my vaccination. I'm not doing a booster shot. And then William Thomas Norris Jr., he said he's still on the fence. Not enough evidence out there to prove either way. So I get that too. Jean said, I never had the flu. Stop it, Jean. She said, I never had the
Right.
flu and I'm old. No, you're not old, girl. Stop it.
Right.
Yeah, and like you said, people don't even go to the dentist every 6 months. How the hell we expecting them to take a booster shot every 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Producer TJ.
and your teeth.
Producer
Yeah, I
TJ
know.
be off
It's
the hook.
cracking me up. Oh, this is hilarious. I can't wait till we be
So
back in the studio. Are we going to be back in the studio? So,
I hope
or is we
so.
going to still
I'll
be in the
fly down.
virtual realm?
I'll fly
Come
down.
back to Atlanta.
Listen, I will. I'll fly down every week and fly home on the weekdays. I need to get my baby off to college, and then my other baby, he going to 10th grade. So, you know, and then we're
I
still
got you.
doing a week off. So the weeks that I leave or the weeks that I'm gone, whatever, they're with dad,
Mm-hmm.
so they're in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's nice.
I just need to get on his way. Nathan said I was blessed with you Nathan. Okay, so Nathan said he had the Johnson & Johnson shot. Have you experienced any side effects from the Johnson & Johnson shot? Because they just opened
Oh,
it back
snap.
up, didn't it? Yeah.
I didn't even know. I thought they was trying to take it off the market.
He said, what a slap in the face. Listen, I don't know. Hey, Randy. Randy said he never had the flu. Waiting on the science for the booster shot. I'm sure Pfizer and Moderna want to keep making those dollars. I'm sure. And then producer
Yeah.
TJ said Johnson shot said it affected women and not men. So Nathan, you might be good. I'm just saying. He said I was
Nathan
sick
said
as
he
hell
was
the first.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, man. See, that's the scary part. But put your trust in the Lord.
Look who decided up.
What's happening, y'all?
Well, good
King James, what's happening, man?
Man, what's going on? What's going on, bruh? What's going on, Portia?
morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. I used to sing that to my babies every morning. Good morning to you. And then my oldest was like, Mom, I hated that song. I was like, what? I sang this song to you every morning when you woke up. And he said, Mom.
Well, he recognized that you couldn't sing either.
That song. Anyway, good morning.
Good morning.
The Good Tribe said, what's up, cuz? I said, I never had the flu shot and have never taken that shot again. Girl, listen. Nathan, you'll be okay. They said that the Johnson & Johnson shot affects women and not men. What's up, First King James? First King James got a haircut because what you doing this weekend? You over there trying to be super
Going to
fly,
LA or Vegas this time.
I know where he going on Friday. I'm not about to put his business out, but I'm just saying, maybe he trying to look all fly for where he going on Friday.
You know what? I need to cancel you from Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Because you be telling all my business. When I put it up there, it's public business.
Where you going, T?
Oh, no, man. I'm just chilling. I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
okay. Just chilling.
Like you.
Just chilling.
He don't want to
Yeah.
Listen, you better tell him before I tell him. Where you going, First King James?
Huh?
Huh? Everybody in the
You can,
comments,
I can hear.
you know what I'm saying? Huh? Everybody saying good morning. Aina said good morning. Your cousin said good morning. D said good morning. You're not even
What's up,
speaking to
Shrop?
people.
What's up, Shrop? What's up, Iris? What's up, D Shields? What's going on with y'all?
Aina said good morning.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. You
What you
all
got
right,
for us this
Iris?
morning?
What we doing?
Oh, not much. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying in the world today.
We
I
got
guess.
guests.
First guest is in.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Our
Oh,
first guest,
yes,
Brandon Mitchell.
we definitely have an important guest. We have coming on to the show, rolling out AM Wake Up Call. Thank you for coming on. I apologize for the grammatical error on the time frame, but he's in Minneapolis, which is Central Time Zone, and I had the Eastern Time Zone on the flyer. But thank you for coming on early. He is one of the jurors in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. So we definitely wanted to holler at him to get his take on what was going on, not only in the courtroom behind the scenes, but also what was going on in the community. So welcome on Brandon Mitchell. If he is ready to come on, let's bring him on. If he is not, oh yeah, he
Let's
is.
do it.
There he is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, what's happening, Mr. Mitchell? What's going on?
Not much. Good morning to you all. How y'all doing?
What's
Oh
going
yes,
on, man? Good
definitely.
morning.
Yes, I know that my co-hosts have a lot of questions, but I wanted to start off with what was the tension like? What was the feeling like? Um, Trying to come to the conclusion about Mr. Chauvin and the entire situation because you were right there in the city, you were in the mix, and you saw everything that happened both inside and outside the courtroom. Tell me about that, if you would.
So I think coming to the conclusion. So once we started deliberating, there was no tension. That was the easy part, just because we had been in the trial for 4 weeks, 3 weeks. We had seen all the evidence. It wasn't like the defense really had a strong case, and there was really a lot of discussion to have. We
Yes.
all were pretty much on the same page in terms of the jurors. So it wasn't a lot of attention once we were trying to make a decision. It was kind of like, let's get in, let's make this decision, and pretty much let's get out.
That's what's up, Portia
Were
or
there
Custom?
Yeah. Were
Yeah.
there any jurors that seemed like they may have had questions or seemed like it wasn't an easy conviction? Were there any holdout jurors in the room?
So there was one that had a lot of questions about the third-degree murder and how it was written. It was written in a way that seemed kind of confusing to them, so they were asking a lot of questions. We probably took 3 hours alone just breaking down what the third-degree murder was and how it applied. And once we got that person to kind of on board with us the same way everybody else viewed it, we moved straight to everything else.
Okay,
Was that
so
whole
there
lot
was
of white
no
person?
question. I don't do that.
What was that?
No, that was a TJ question.
Oh,
was
Brandon, was there? So I would ask, what was like the ratio of the demographics?
Yeah, so me, I was the only African American male. There was an older African American woman, two men of African descent, two young ladies that identified as a mixed race. I believe there was four white women, older white women, and then two white guys about 30 or so.
Who was the holdout person? Who was the person who was acting like they was confused? What was their
Oh, don't do that.
nationality?
Don't do that. Don't do that. See,
I say it
don't do
wasn't
that.
me. I wasn't the one that was confused, but
Oh, we
somebody
know.
else.
Right. Going in. Like, okay, yeah, I'm on this thing.
So
What was
was
that
this your
person
first
like?
time ever
I'm
experiencing?
sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, was this your first experience as being like a juror of this magnitude, or even just being on a jury?
Yeah, this was my first experience being a juror at all. And I know when I first got the letter saying that I would be on jury service, they stated what case it was, and I was just kind of like, I was like teeter-tottering, like, do I really want to do this one or not? But I knew it was a chance for me to kind of take advantage of it and be a leader and be a figure with this. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and roll with it and see if I could be on this jury.
Yeah. So D Shields is in the comments. She wants to know, did you guys have any tense moments? Were there any tense moments?
The most tense moments were in the courtroom during the trial, just because of what we had to watch every day. I mean, we got to watch somebody die each day. That's tense alone. There was nothing more tense than that, just flat out. Having to watch, George Floyd die every day, sit in agony, listen to his family. And then he always has a family member in the courtroom during this time. They're crying every day. Those are the tense moments. Anything outside of that was light.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
What was the atmosphere like in Minneapolis in terms of the city? Because you got to go home every day. You weren't sequestered until the deliberations. So what was that like being in the city, Brooklyn Center? We know about Mr. What's his name? Mr. Wright. So what was that situation like during the entire time during the trial and the deliberations?
So it was hard to tell just because when you would leave from the courtroom, you wouldn't want to do much else. So you would leave, go home, and it wasn't like you were you didn't want to do much else. You was just drained from seeing that. Like I said it in a different interview, it was like a funeral every day. So it was like you're emotionally drained, you're mentally drained. So it's hard to even tell what the city was like because you're not really going to do nothing. You coming home and it's just like, man, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to sit here, try to decompress. You don't want to turn on the TV really and watch the news. You really just want to try to find an outlet to let some of those emotions go, but you can't really talk about it. So it was a weird situation.
And that's what I wanted to ask. So, okay, so you went home every night, but of course the instructions were you can't talk about this case with anybody, right? I'm not sure what your home makeup is like, if you got a wife, if you got kids, but how difficult was it to not talk about the case and then go back and, attest to, I have not talked about this case with anyone else? How difficult was that?
It actually wasn't too difficult just because, except for on weekends. On weekdays, you didn't want to talk about it. You would sit in the courtroom 8 hours. You just tired of it. You want to release from all of it. The weekend, you might have wanted to, talk about it or whatever, just because you had some time to not sit and look at it. But on a weekday, like I said, it's 8 hours. You're sitting there looking at it all day. Some days more boring than other days. Some days are more gruesome. And it's just so draining that you don't want to go home and talk about it because you really watching somebody die 6, 7, 8, 9 times, hearing them holler all day. It's like I don't even want to think about that for a minute. I want to go think about something else just for a minute,
right?
Just because you got to go back in the morning again and do it all
and
over.
deal with that whole thing, that whole process again.
Right.
And every day for 3.5 weeks.
She said it was like a funeral every day. That's profound. Yeah, that is. So what would you do to kind of decompress and take your mind off of it, especially during the weekdays? What would you do? What was your routine?
So it really wasn't much. So I would usually, I would stop by my mom's house for a couple hours, or maybe an hour or two, just to be around some positive energy. Then, I might come home, maybe watch some NBA, eat, and then that was pretty much it. It really wasn't no real way to decompress.
Well, question. After being a juror, what would you say to people who always want to get out of doing jury duty?
I would say it's extremely important, especially for us, as in the Black community, just because we're always, we're being arrested at a crazy rate. We're being put in jail at a crazy rate, but we need to be on those jury duties and in these rooms just to make sure that our voice is being heard and we're being represented while in those rooms. Because even in my deliberation, I felt like, even though there was days where I was like, I don't want to go into this. I wanted to stay home. I was like, I'm ready to quit, and they figure somebody else out. But I was like, if I'm not in there, I don't know how that conversation gonna go. It might be different, just by me being in there. They might have a certain respect, but they're gonna have the conversation a certain way. It might go completely different just by somebody not being there. That's a representation of the black community.
This is fascinating to me. Did the prosecution present its case, to your satisfaction? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought the prosecution did a real good job. I thought that they did such a good job, and that they almost did too much. Like, I thought we had got the point with all the experts, and then they almost did too many experts. It was like, okay, we get it.
They talked about
we just
that.
keep hearing the same thing over and over again. We can move on now. But I thought they did a real good job, for real.
Okay, Portia, go ahead.
Agreed.
Pat is in the comments. Pat wants to know, before we bring on Attorney General Ryan Jones from D.C., Pat wanted to know, what would you say to those who contend that Derek Chauvin was railroaded, quote unquote, and didn't receive a fair trial because folks didn't want cities to burn if he hadn't been acquitted?
That's a good point.
I think that's ridiculous when people say that, just because when you're sitting in the courtroom every day, and you're watching somebody die, it's human nature to be compassionate about that person. It's human nature to think about what you're seeing. You're hearing them yell in agony on a day-to-day basis. You're not thinking about things that are going on outside of the courtroom at that point. Your human nature, your compassion is feeling for this person, which that person would have been George Floyd. So you're feeling for them on an everyday basis. You don't have the energy or the time or the wherewithal to think about, oh, what's going to happen to the city? No, what's happening to this person that I'm watching every day? They died. That's what you're watching. So because of that, it doesn't even make any sense logically for anybody. I mean, you would have to be somewhat of a psychopath to think outside of that. You're watching somebody die every day. How do you think outside of that? That wouldn't even make any sense. And then on top of that, the process of jury duty is a civil process that's put in place to kind of dissolve all that. So it's like jury duty. We're all regular members of society. Took time out of our days, out of our lives, away from our family, away from our jobs, to do what's right, and that's just what we did. And so it's almost disrespectful when people, put that narrative out like, oh, they only did it just because this was going to happen and that was going to happen. No, we did it because it was our service and we did what's right.
Yeah.
Right. What's up? And it's apropos that we have our next guest. Please stay on if you can, Mr. Mitchell, as we present our next guest. Go ahead, Portia.
So I definitely want to welcome to the show Attorney Ryan Jones. He grew up in the 14th Street Heights neighborhood of D.C. in the Fourth Ward. His father worked in the D.C. office of the People's General Counsel, where he advocated for residents when confronting issues with utility companies. His mom and brother are real estate agents, but we also have Nakima that's on as well. But he is driven by the impact of his family. He set out to have a legal career using the law to zealously advocate for individuals, organizations, and companies. Please welcome to the show, Attorney General Ryan Jones. How are you, Ryan? Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for having me. I am Ryan Jones, and I'm running for Attorney General in Washington, D.C.
We're going to speak it into existence.
Thank you. Thank you. I like
We're going to speak it into existence.
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we also have another guest coming on, Nakima. She is a community activist in Minneapolis.
An attorney.
Attorney as well. King James, did you want to give her an introduction?
No, absolutely. She's been one of the preeminent activists who has been on the front lines discussing both the cases that have been going on, both with George Floyd and with Dante Wright. She just got interviewed by Oprah, so she didn't have time to get back with me sooner because, Oprah takes precedent. But anyway, no. To be serious, Dante Wright is the young child who was 20 years old who was shot and killed during the Derek Chauvin murder case, and we wanted to know what was still going on in Minneapolis and in Brooklyn Center, which is a suburb of Minneapolis. Talk to us about what was going on, Ms. Armstrong.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be
Good
on
morning.
with you all.
Good morning.
Dante Wright was killed on April 11th. He was a young African-American man, biracial, and he was driving in his car, minding his own business when the police suddenly pulled him over. He called his mom at the time, and he told her that he was pulled over because he had an air freshener hanging on his mirror. And police later claimed that he had expired tags, which is still ridiculous because we're in the midst of a pandemic. There's a lot of people whose tags are expired. But they found out when they pulled him over that he had a warrant, and he tried to at some point get back in his car. He was not posing a threat. And the police officer, a female, white female officer, yelled, "Taser, taser, taser," but she actually shot him with her gun, claiming that it was an accident. We don't believe for a minute that it was an accident. She was involved in trying to help cover up another situation of a biracial young man who was killed named Kobe Heisler, who had a mental health breakdown, had autism, and the police killed him, and she instructed them on what to do after the fact, like riding in separate cars, not talking to anyone, turning off their body cams and things like that. So the initial stop was as a result of racial profiling. So far, what has happened is that she was forced to resign, and she has been charged with manslaughter. But we have been going to the county attorney's home demanding murder charges. We've gone to his home 3 times. The most recent time we were there last Sunday, we held a church service in front of his home, and we were there for almost 2 hours. Yeah, and some of his neighbors,
I saw the video.
basically said, "Get out of here, you effing N-word." And so she's been fired. Her husband is a correctional officer. He's currently under investigation. And then there's a third person who works for the twins, who we've also asked that they conduct an investigation into his behavior.
Go ahead, Custom or Portia. I know y'all have some questions.
Well,
I'm just the fact that, you know what I mean, all of you guys are just on the on the front row and then the front lines is just amazing to be able to be in you guys' presence and just listening and hearing, you know, you guys' experiences is phenomenal. The mere fact that Brandon, you were on the jury, Ryan, you're, you know, in DC handling things, and Nakima, I was just impressed by what King James was saying about, you know, you speaking with Oprah, being interviewed. That was amazing. And Black advocation is what we need at this moment in time the most. For us as disenfranchised people of color, you know, we need representation. So we need people like you guys on the front line advocating and helping, you know what I mean, being able to be a voice. So thank you first and foremost for that.
And I wanted to give Attorney Jones a chance to chime in, just to welcome him to the show again, but also to kind of get a pulse on what is life like in DC? What's going on in DC? What are you seeing on the streets of DC right now?
Right. So Washington, D.C. is a unique place, and there's always a protest. You can be walking one block one way, you'll see people brunching, and then another block over, people are marching down the street saying, you know, anything from, you know, protesting the killings that we're seeing nationwide to, you know, fair election laws and fair voter laws. We see defund the police. We see that a lot. We see Black Lives Matter protests a lot. So there's a lot happening in DC.
Okay.
I see. Where do you see the parallels of what's going on in DC and what Attorney Armstrong is dealing with in Minneapolis and suburban Minneapolis in terms of what do you see, how these things are intertwined? What is the connection? I mean, it's an obvious question. It's axiomatic, but I just want to hear it from your mouth.
Right. So when we watch these things, it's national news. These are national events. You're not just killing somebody, an unarmed person, Kenosha, you're killing. It's affecting everyone across the country. So the outcry is actually international, but the outcry is everywhere, and I think it requires advocates everywhere to stand up and say, look, the harm you're causing in Ferguson, there's an visceral reaction happening to residents in Washington, D.C. You're causing intentional of emotional harm to people who live in places outside of where these actual crimes are occurring. You're seeing riots being caused, property damage taking place outside of just the location where these events are taking place. So it is felt everywhere.
I see. Have you, Attorney Armstrong and Ryan, have you been in Mr. Mitchell's place? Have you served on the jury? I mean, he served in one of the most pivotal trials of our time. I mean, we may look back 20 to 25 years from now and see that what Mr. Mitchell did and his fellow jurors is something that I don't know if it's pivotal. I don't know if it's directional. I don't know if it's transcendent. But have you ever been in that situation? And either one of you can answer, Attorney Mitchell or Ryan.
I haven't served on a jury.
No,
I don't think they would allow me to be on a jury at this point, especially surrounding
I could imagine.
or racial justice, because I'm outspoken about these issues and they kind of know where I stand, to be honest with you. But I am thankful for Mr. Mitchell and his service, because we were concerned going into the trial about whether there would be racial diversity on the jury and whether there would be African Americans, native-born African Americans on the jury. And if I recall correctly, you were only one of two native-born African Americans, and one of the two has a close relationship with a police officer, whether it's a family member or a close friend. So that is, that was definitely a concern, knowing that we might not, our perspectives as native-born Black people might not be reflective of those who are on the jury. So I'm very thankful for your service. That was a huge commitment, not only time-wise and financial-wise, but also the emotional toll that I'm sure that it took, because it definitely impacted the rest of us watching those bystander and body cam videos and
watching
seeing
him die every day.
Exactly. It was very traumatic. I can only imagine what you went through. And personally, I just want to say thank you. It is pivotal. It's already transcendent, because
absolutely
a cop who did what he did and had the entire world watching will be held accountable. Now I'm hoping for the sentencing phase that Judge Cahill does the right thing. I was disappointed that AG Ellison said recently on 60 Minutes, we don't want a light sentence or I'm like, get out of here. You don't speak for Black people. You are part of the system. You don't speak for us. We want a heavy sentence because we saw a modern day lynching. Period. So
absolutely.
I hope
Period.
Jones from the AG that you make sure that to not articulate positions on behalf of the system, but to remember that you're Black and that there is a history connected to these types of incidences.
Absolutely.
Attorney Ryan, just before we go on, if Attorney Ryan could just, I'm sorry, if Attorney Ryan could just add to that a little bit, give his perspective on serving on the jury and what you felt from a legal standpoint.
Right, absolutely. So, thank you, Mr. Mitchell. What he stated was important. He stated earlier that he watched what was going on visually each and every day, and they made a decision in that jury room that he was guilty of those crimes that he committed. And it had nothing to do with some other effect of rioting and preserving the city and the safety of others outside of that. That conspiracy theory, I'm glad he's debunking that for us. And that's important to know, that people were doing their civic duty and taking it seriously, and they weren't persuaded by any outside force. As far as what Attorney General Ellison said in Minnesota about,
he felt bad for Chauvin. Can you believe that?
Look,
what did he say?
He said he felt bad for Derek Chauvin. He said he kind of felt a little bad Even though he was happy he was convicted, he said he was a human being and he felt bad for Derek Chauvin. And my point is, when I saw it, when I read it, I was just like, wait a minute. What about George Floyd, who actually died under his
Right.
knee?
Right.
I'm like,
That's who, you
dude.
know what I mean? How can you
I
be
wish I could
inhumane
say
to
that
even
was
say that?
I try to imagine that he feels a sense of pressure, and we don't
I'm
know what
sure.
that's like. And I'm thinking you really got to stand up tall, and you really got to, if you really want to, I want the honor to represent the people of DC and represent what they want. In Washington DC, I'll be clear, we have a certain, the Attorney General has a certain jurisdiction. They would not be presiding over sentencing of a certain type of crime, a crime like this. But you can make your voice heard. And I think we need strict
And he's still running
liability
for
laws.
Congress.
We need strict liability laws in place so that we don't have to have juries making tough decisions like this. It's already known. You shoot an unarmed person of color, you know what the result's going to be. There are no excuses. And that's the only way to move forward
Because
and
even
heal.
Right, because even in Atlanta, well, in Georgia, excuse me, specifically, we were just covering the fact that the three men that were charged in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery are going to
Yes.
be charged and indicted and under federal judge. And so we hope that the same justice that we saw in the Derek Chauvin trial will still be present in the trial of these three men in this heinous crime of killing that unarmed black man, Ahmaud Arbery, in Georgia. So we can only hope and pray that, you know, we have gentlemen like you, Mr. Mitchell, that are present, that are there, that are compassionate and empathetic, you know what I mean? And people of color, that's because that's what we need the most, especially in these rural southern cities, to really be able to stand up and come out and be able to represent and show up more specifically in advocation. So we shall see about that. We will keep you guys posted on that and definitely be covering that as well.
Yeah, that brings up a
So
great
there
point.
is
I don't know,
a
Portia. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Portia.
So
Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to chime in on Facebook because there's a question from Randy to Attorney Jones, and he wanted to know what can we do to help DC residents get representation in Congress and or
Yes.
statehood.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's right. Be loud. Let your senators know. Let your elected officials all across the country know that residents in Washington, D.C. need representation. We're paying taxes. We have a large population, and we need to have representation and our voices heard federally. And we don't need to be, spoken for under the thumb of, but under the rule of home rule. We need to have our own agency and advocate for our residents and be able to administer laws as we see fit here.
Okay, I wanted both attorneys to kind of chime in about what do you think about, because I know how I feel, but I want to hear you first before I say what I say about the U.S. Department of Justice looking into Breonna Taylor and the Louisville Police Department. They're going in and doing an investigation. How effective is this? What can turn out from this investigation of the Louisville? They already let the men go. They've already exonerated the police officer who murdered but weren't indicted of killing Breonna Taylor. So, Attorney Ryan, please go first, and I want you to chime in as well, Attorney Armstrong.
I think we have to understand that justice is a continuing process, and even though there's a decision level, there are other avenues to ensure that so a situation like this cannot occur again. And if the Justice Department may find a way to exact justice and investigate this matter to see if there was any impropriety that was done, then there's some additional prosecution that can be taken place. And then we as a country can feel some sort of resolution, because we do feel wronged by the prosecution of that officer there in Kentucky. So what did they do wrong? They didn't even give him the jury a real chance to convict him based on the charges and how they were set up. So the Justice Department has to step in and take oversight, and I think they're well within their right to do so.
Okay.
So typically when the Justice Department decides to come into a jurisdiction, they're looking for patterns and practices of discrimination. And so they announced after the verdict in the Chauvin case that they were going to investigate the Minneapolis Police Department. This is something we asked for many, many years ago that now under a new administration, they're finally going to do. And it seems like a much more serious investigation than what has happened in the past when the DOJ has come here. And they have the chance to enter into an agreement with the Minneapolis Police Department about the changes that need to take place. Otherwise, the Minneapolis Police Department will be subject to potential litigation at the federal level. So that's where something like this comes in. We're also asking that the investigation be expanded to include the St. Paul Police Department, which is the deadliest police department in the state of Minnesota, as well as Brooklyn Center and other surrounding police departments. Yeah, it's the deadliest. I mean, there have been many incidents with St. Paul police killing people with their hands up, and even their police dogs chewing up Black folks. We're like, do you train your police dogs? Because why are they mauling Black people? But
And see, that's the crazy, right? And see, that's the crazy thing about it. We don't hear about these instances in the magnitude of which I'm sure that, you know what I mean, they're occurring, because we're only getting the ones that are propagated or just, you know what I mean, whatever that sounds salacious enough or that catches the ear. But it's just crazy because that's the whole reason. I think we were speaking about this on Tuesday, Portia, the BNC, Black National Information Channel, BNC or Black BIC or something, but it was the Black Information Channel or news channel.
Yeah, BNC.
Right. Right. So I feel like in that regards, we're not being, you know, advocated for. And it's like they say, like the golden rule, he who makes the most gold makes the rules. Well, I think that he who controls the media controls the narrative. So it's like if we really did have our own platforms and these different networks to be able to kind of expose these kind of stories and disclose what's happening in these cities, when we see it first, you know what I mean? I think that that will kind of bring even much more of an awareness, because it's crazy that I'm in Atlanta and I don't even know that these type of things are happening in St. Paul or, you know, whatever is going on until it hit the news. Same way, even when it came to the Ahmaud Arbery case, they didn't know this happened like 6 months beforehand until it first started hitting the news and we heard about it, which is crazy. So
yeah,
thank you for showing, you know what I mean, Attorney
Absolutely.
Kima. Yeah.
Robert is on Facebook. He says we only see the ones that are caught on video, which is sad nowadays. So,
Yes.
Well, except that Justine Rustencheck Damon, a white woman who was killed in Minneapolis in 2017 due to an accidental shooting by a Black Muslim Somali officer, Muhammad Noor, in worldwide news because she was a blonde-haired, affluent white woman who was also from Australia. There was no video, but Muhammad Noor became the first officer convicted in the history of the state of Minnesota for killing a civilian. Again, no video. He's serving 12 and a half years in prison. It was very likely an accidental shooting. So we saw uneven justice, even how Black people in blue are treated. They're not protected in the same way that white officers would be. So even without video, we still see white supremacy at work in terms of the valuing of a white life over a Black life, because most of the people who are killed by white male officers. So Chauvin will be the first one actually serving time in prison. And we still don't know what Judge Cahill is going to do with that sentence. And like I said, that's why I'm so disappointed in Ellison for saying not light or heavy. He's saying this isn't about revenge. We're like, when they sentence Black men, it's not about revenge. It's about them using their power under the law to put somebody in prison. So we want that same energy when it comes to the sentence of Derek Chauvin, period.
Absolutely. Period.
I know we're running close to time. I wanted to let Attorney Jones talk about his run for Attorney General in D.C. And let us all know how we can support his run. We already speaking it into existence, so I definitely wanted to give you a chance to shine a spotlight on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I didn't know that, first of all, before you begin, I didn't know that DC even qualified to have an attorney general, since the fact that it's not recognized as a city or state, or it's just DC is just sitting there. It's just there. So tell me all about that. I mean, it's a quagmire. It's ridiculous, actually.
Well, local government has always had an attorney general. It was always appointed by the mayor. In 2014, the DC Court of Appeals ruled that it had to be an elected position. And that the special election in 2014 allowed for there to be an elected attorney general. That was the very first attorney general election in Washington, D.C. It's the top government attorney for the district government. There is a district government that governs the people and the residents of Washington, D.C. So we have an internal structure similar to that of a state. So our mayor is like a governor, so to speak. Now, just about my run, the election is in the primary election is in June 2022. So we're 399 days away from that election, and I need everyone's support. Across the country, people can donate as little as $1, as much as $200, and that way, that'll fuel the campaign. That'll allow me to get my message out to voters here who I want to vote for me, so that I can advocate for them. There are requirements that there's equal access to justice. People are being taken advantage of, and they can't get to the courts because they don't have the means. They don't have a voice that's loud enough. They don't have the knowledge and know-how to have their rights protected through the court system. And that's the way we do things in this country. And I believe that. And so we also need a balance. We need equity. There's this desire to hear equality, but if you're if you're 7 feet tall and you can see a horizon and you're only 3 feet tall, you need to get boosted up to see over any distraction from seeing the horizon. That's what equity is, giving the people who aren't tall enough a boost so that they can have an equal level playing field or eye vision as someone who's much taller than them. And we need laws that uplift people. We need to be enforcing laws that bring people to a better place. And I think there are opportunities, there are mechanisms out here that exist. And it's just a matter of bringing the right people to the table, letting them think, letting them make the decisions on behalf of people so that we can advance society. We can have a brighter future. And that's why I'm running.
Where do we donate? Can you put a...
Not that she's going to donate any money, but where can the rest of the public donate?
Everyone can donate. So we have a website, Ryan Jones for AG. There's a donate button. It will take you to an active site where you can donate there. So that's Ryan Jones for AG. It's spelled out Ryan Jones FORAG.com.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Yes,
and coming
thank
on
you
today.
so much.
Absolutely.
Brandon Mitchell, Nakima Armstrong. Yes. Thank you so much for coming on and giving your perspectives.
Absolutely. So we're going to have you guys all back as well. Because
absolutely.
So especially you, Attorney General, because we're speaking that thing into existence. Okay. So especially you, Attorney General Ryan Jones. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Armstrong. Thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes.
And you know what? This is a case of serendipity that we have, Goody Mob coming on because of the fact that, they dropped a lot of knowledge and science back in the 90s and the new millennium in their music. You know what I'm saying? Their music was gripping. Their visuals, the videos were like, they made you think. So I think so it's kind of fortuitous that we got them on today. So why don't we go ahead and introduce our next guest, Portia? I'll let you take it away.
You take it away.
Oh, okay. I got it. From being an Atlanta native, born and raised, I would be remiss to not give you guys y'all's flowers right here and right now. The Dungeon family's own Goody Mob, the good only die mostly over what? Come on, man. Welcome.
Know what it is. What's up? Good morning, man.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Coming on as well. We got T-Mo coming on as well.
Come
What's good,
on.
y'all?
Hey, you know, we just riding off our high right now. It's our 23rd year anniversary of Still Standing. Last year, celebrating our 25th year anniversary of Soul Food. So this year we're a 23rd year anniversary of Still Standing, our second album to come out, man. And it's just, you know, the anniversaries are just coming up, man. And it's just so overwhelming that we got that much body of work, man. And you know, just trying to feed our people, man, with some street knowledge, man, with, you know what I'm saying, some of our opinions, you know what I'm saying. I got much love. They've been down, man, with us, man.
All right.
Yes,
We
sir.
see, we
Big
see CeeLo.
CeeLo, what's happening?
Oh, let me get my lighting right. Hold on.
Hey,
It's all
man.
good.
Soul
It's
Food
all
is one of
good.
my favorite songs, brothers.
Wow.
I got Inshallah tatted on my arm because of y'all in that song.
Wow.
Inshallah. That is, yes, man.
Oh, that's real.
I grew up
That's
listening
real.
to you guys, brother. Yes, yes. I grew up listening to y'all, you know what I mean? The big bros, Dre and Big, you know what I mean?
The good thing about Inshallah, man, at that time, man, it means God willing, you know what I mean, in Arabic, you know what I mean? So, you know, God willing, man, we will still be around by this time, man. So, like I said, man, for some reason this year, man, a lot of people been talking about giving flowers to people while they're alive, man. So the climate is great for this, man. So what more to get into it, man, with your fans and just letting them know what you still got going on? Because every time we come to our house, man, fans like, "Man, we're not gonna put out another album or what y'all got going on."
Oh, we got a little background interference. We got a little
Hey,
background
CeeLo,
interference.
welcome to the show.
T-Mo,
What up with it?
what's going on? Good morning. Welcome, welcome.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Doing
Oh,
well.
good morning.
Good to
Good
see
morning.
everybody this morning.
Yeah. I got the pleasure to check you guys out at the parking lot. What do they call it? A parking lot
Parking lot concert.
Yeah, last fall, and that was dope. I mean, the energy was so intense. The energy that y'all bring on the stage, along with the music, along with the message, is just intense. Talk to me
Yes.
about that, because basically some of the things that you guys were talking about, CeeLo, was has manifested that you talked about in the '90s. Like, you saw this coming, this atmosphere, this racial environment. Talk to us about that, CeeLo. How y'all put that into your music?
Yeah, well, we definitely adopted and you know and interjected a lot of that information that we had come across very early on into the music. Just as a signifier, I think initially, I think we wanted to definitely set ourselves apart and um, be distinguishable, and then also be the betterment of, like a balance. You know what I'm saying? To just make sure that the full spectrum of what Atlanta had to offer around that time was represented. You know what I mean? I think that was really important to us, whether knowingly or unknowingly, intuitively or otherwise. I think that it definitely was a conscious effort, but to have foreseen so many things and watch them come to pass. A lot of people would like to call that prophetic. I don't know if we would go that far. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I can say, a lot of things that have come to pass. The only
Yes.
thing um, that could be feasible is the fact that there's been a great deal of social engineering, and a lot of these things have been steered in this direction politically, socially, economically, technology, and otherwise. So a lot of it was assumable, and then a lot of it was definitely deliberate and intentional as far as the powers that be are concerned. And so yeah, there's a lot to say about that information coming to pass. And so all we have to do is just kind of um, you know, um, involve ourselves. I mean, like, and become informed about the wave and which way it's going. So I believe we've proven that to be possible.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Go ahead.
And can we get you guys to turn your camera sideways, CeeLo and Cujo? Yeah. Perfect, Cujo.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Now we
Yeah.
got a better look at the legends.
Yes, sir. So, gentlemen,
Okay, perfect.
we know that you guys have a concert coming up at the Atrium. Tell us a little bit about that.
Come on,
Well,
Mo.
it's go. What's up, Mo? You want to talk about it? Can't hear you, Mo.
Introducing a new hip hop. They're introducing a new hip hop cryptocurrency. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah,
we hear you.
Hello. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, we hear you.
Okay, I'm just trying to. Yeah, they introducing a new hip hop cryptocurrency.
It sounds
so
like you
they
at a concert
decided to.
now.
I am. I'm actually on a field trip with my baby girl at the zoo. So I'm
Oh,
multitasking.
nice.
I got to do all things.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So yeah, it's an awesome event. It's an honor to be a part of such a historic event, meaning that hip hop about to literally have its own money. And I'm glad that Goody Mob is actually able to be a part of the launch party. So it's an actual launch party that's taking place Saturday at my main man Terry Brantley's spot, man, the Atrium, old school spot, man. We're gonna light that thing up. So I hope y'all out there Saturday
Absolutely.
night, because we ready to have some fun for sure.
Terry Brantley, that's my uncle. So that's yeah.
Yes, sir.
Shout out.
Okay,
Yeah,
family.
man. Yes, sir.
Where
That's dope, man.
No,
We're trying to get him on right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
while
how'd you
we're
guys
trying to-
collab with Keith Murray?
Man, he ain't even.
Oh, my bad.
Man, we've been knowing Keith Murray for years.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's from our class. And this was just kind of like us kind of being brought together. You know what I mean? I think there's been a resurgence of old. I don't want to call it old, but like the elder statesmen of hip hop. I mean, like you just saw the Def Squad, and Meth and Red do their verses. You know what I mean? Like, so that was dope, especially for an artist like myself. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because I'm fans of that era. I'm fans of that music. Everybody looks good. Everybody looks strong. You know what I mean? And so it was it gave me a sense of pride. You know what I mean? Like, as well as ourselves. And when you were talking about just the performance quality of what we do and the intensity that we continue to bring to the stage, I mean, like, that's really a testament of our staying power. You know what I'm saying? So it's good
Absolutely.
to see. It's
Absolutely.
good to see that the class that we come from, a lot of us we were built to last, man. So like, yeah, it's a testament to that.
No, for sure. I love it, man. I love it. Hey, man, I want to read y'all this quote. You probably already know. Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, cousin. I wanted to run.
Oh, no. I was going to say, how can I promise you forever when I can't even promise the rest of the day? All I kept is we stated this journey together, and hopefully we can make it to the rest of the way. Yes, sir. That is some powerful lines that, you know what I mean, live by. But like Portia was saying, we about to go to a quick commercial.
Let's go to y'all commercial so that we can see what we got coming up. And we're also trying to get your last member on as well. But let's roll the commercial, producer.
From Atlanta to the world, my virtual show, the Hype Magazine Hip Hop Fraternity and New Global Star bring you Long Live the Legends Live, featuring live performances by Goody Mob, Keith Murray, and more on Saturday, May 1st. The day starts at 12 noon with the live performance by Keith Murray at our artist showcase from 12 to 7. The pre-show starts at 8 p.m. hosted by Rico the Plug, Ken Ivy, and more with performances by King Yoshi, Deja Marie, Big Jig, and more. The main event starts at 9 p.m. hosted by Fort Knox with DJ Kerosene on the ones and twos. Watch it online, attend the live streaming party, or get exclusive tickets to see them live and in person at the legendary Atrium in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Get tickets now at longlivethelegends.com. starting at just $4.99 for the pre-show and up. Sponsored by Crowd Wall Street, Culture Brother Films, Rolling Out, Brantley Media, Onset and Company, Vadu Films, Street Killers Entertainment, and more.
Yeah.
Hey, Mo, use your phone, Mo. There you go.
Where you at? He at the zoo. Where you at? You on your morning walk. That's what I need to be doing. All right. I love it.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. He said he's on a field trip at the zoo with his baby girl,
Yeah.
with his youngest.
He is at the
That's
zoo. I love it.
that's so sweet. That's so sweet. That's so sweet, man. All my kids grown, man. I ain't been able to do nothing like that in so long.
I love it. I love it. Got you.
I'm gonna take my grandbabies to the zoo when they ready.
Listen. Yeah, my baby's
How y'all
grown
feeling
too.
about this COVID vaccine and being out and about? You heard they say that the Braves Stadium and the Falcon Stadium is about to be going to full capacity soon for like in the first week or two of May. Y'all going to any of the games?
I'd love to go to a Braves game, man. I would love to go to. You know, when they open up baseball, you know we've turned the corner, bro. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know we turned the corner, man, and you know baseball is America's sport. You know what I mean? So if you see that happening, man, we definitely turned the corner on this COVID madness.
Yeah. Nah, for sure,
Matter
for sure.
of fact, this
So that's a
COVID
good
madness.
thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, this COVID madness was a catalyst to our new album that we came out with Survival Kit. So if it wasn't for that, I don't think the urgency would be as what it was to get this Survival Kit out to the fans, because it was on the cusp of our 25th year anniversary of Soul Food, and to have something new and have something fresh and have something that reflect the times was refreshing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You don't know nothing about it being no catalyst, Joe.
I think that's
Y'all was already gonna put out music, huh?
Nah, that was well
I
said.
dig it. Yeah. When's the project dropped, or is it already out?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
came out
project.
last year.
Yeah, what say, Lo?
I was just saying it came out last year. When was that? Last November.
Gotcha.
November 13th of last year.
Yeah.
Nice. It's on all platforms, all streaming platforms.
Yeah, we're organized.
For sure. Got you. Who's trying to
We
get Gip
coming to.
on?
We was trying to get him on, hoping that he would dial back in. I know he had some issues dialing in, but that was, we were trying to work through it. But nonetheless, y'all, thank y'all for coming on. We got 1 minute left. Y'all want to plug y'all event one last time? Let people know where they can find out and attend and all of that great stuff.
Take it Low.
Yes, y'all. We have been going 23 years strong now. We are the Almighty Goody Mo B, representing the Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, representing DF to the very last breath. Much love to my brothers. As a matter of fact, I really wish Gip had came on, but it was Gip's birthday yesterday, so we're going to acknowledge him and love on him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Celebrate with him.
Absolutely.
Survival Kits in stores, as well as all of the other classic Dungeon Family Project releases. Still Standing, World Party, One Monkey Don't Stop No Show, Age Against the Machine, as well as a countless host of others, all of the Outcast material, Backbone, Society is So, Organized Noise, Cool Breeze,
Yes.
Witch Doctor, you know what I mean? So shout out to the whole family. Shout out to the city of Atlanta, the one that raised us. Shout out to Rolling Out for always supporting the group and supporting the movement. We really appreciate you guys. And yeah, that's that, man. A lot of love, y'all.
Absolutely.
East Side Atlanta, man. Memorial Drive.
And come out Saturday if y'all want to, man. If you ain't got nothing to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll probably pull up.
Timo, bring
Come
all
on,
the
pull up.
children to the show Saturday.
I'm bringing them, man. They
East
all
side
can't
now.
wait to come.
Memorial Drive, real Atlanta stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
I
bring the
love it.
animals and everything, man. The giraffes and everything, Lord.
Oh.
Come on, man. They like good music too.
I'm sure they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man, he getting kind of close.
Well, we appreciate you guys.
Go support Saturday,
I'm
y'all.
sorry.
Let's go.
Thank y'all for the opportunity. Thank y'all for the plug
Absolutely.
and the love, most definitely.
Have
Yes,
fun
sir.
at the zoo. I ain't been to the zoo in years. But have fun. We'll see y'all soon. Thanks again. Take care.
Most definitely. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. Okay.
We were trying to get Gip on. We just couldn't do it.
Right.
But
Happy
we'll
belated,
have to.
big homie.
Happy belated birthday. Absolutely. And y'all come back tomorrow. We got a jam-packed show tomorrow as well. It's Entertainment Friday. So y'all know what we do on Entertainment Fridays. We got the first King James coming back on for Positive Thoughts. Is that what he coming on for? I'm going to kick mine off. I know we're a little late today, but I brought just enough cards for my little vacation. Popping this open. Begin with life where you find it and make it better. Unknown. That's my positive thought of the day. Begin with life where you find it and make it better. I am doing just that today as I enjoy the rest of my day after I finish this work, y'all. So I'm going to pass the ball over to Custom. And then if King James is on, we're going to pass it to him too.
Yep. So hopefully guys have a great day today. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it, but I loved having some of my favorite guests on that were from my childhood and hip hop growing up here in Atlanta. But I'm going to end my positive thought with one of their lyrics from a song. How can I promise you forever when I can't even promise you the rest of the day? All I know is we started this journey together and hopefully we can make it the rest of the way. Inshallah. That means God willing. So may all of your hopes, dreams, and aspirations come to fruition and enjoy this day. See y'all tomorrow.
I love that. King James, you want to say something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even though I'm not on, I just thank so much the guest that came on, the juror, Mr. Brandon Mitchell, Nakima Armstrong, Attorney Ryan. I can't recall his last name, but Attorney Ryan. Support him for online. Yeah, support him online and with your dollars for his quest for Attorney General. So thank you very much. And that is my positive thought of the day is just support. Support the people in Minneapolis. Support the people in DC. Support Attorney Ryan in DC. And go. And if you're in the ATL, if you're in Georgia, go out and support these brothers, man, because they really bring the noise and the energy they brought to that parking lot concert was incredible. I mean, it's a next level energy. It's hard to describe. You have to see it in person. So that's my positive thought of the day. I'm the first King James, and I'm out.
Yeah, this concert is also virtual, but I did want to make a point that you wasn't social distancing when you was at that parking lot concert. I just want to let people know.
See, she tried. She came for me, Custom. She came for me. You know what I'm
She
saying?
was coming for you when we were talking about the Jocelyn and Wendy story.
You get a chance to chime in on that.
We wanted to hear your thoughts.
And see, I'm petty, so I'm going to get her on Monday. I'm going to get her. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get her back when I come on Monday. You know what I'm saying? My whole sports segment is going to be dedicated to Portia. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it.
Yes, thank you.
See y'all.
I am the Buckeye who took my talents to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? From Akron to Atlanta. Thank you for coming on to the Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call. On behalf of Custom and Portia Monique, holla at you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace, y'all. We had a great show today.
Peace.
Peace.
A great show. Great show.
Don't underscore what I just said. Don't do that.
Okay, she on a roll today. I'm going to let her have it. Because I'm going to get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let her have it.
we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all. All right. Okay.
Dance work. Oh.
Good morning. King James always look like he fighting somebody though. Like, loosen up your hands.
That's the Cooper Good Jr. fight in the air.
At least I got rhythm. You know what I'm saying? You can't even dance. You can't even dance. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's see you dance, Portia. Go ahead. Let's see Portia dance. Go ahead, Portia. That's what I thought.
To open up my curtains.
From Atlanta to the world, my virtual show, the Hype Magazine Hip Hop Fraternity and New Global Star bring you Long Live the Legends Live, featuring live performances by Goody Mob, Keith Murray, and more on Saturday, May 1st. The day starts at 12 noon with the live performance by Keith Murray at our Artist Showcase from 12 to 7. The pre-show starts at 8 p.m. hosted by Rico the Plug, Ken Ivy, and more with performances by King Yoshi, Deja Marie, Big Jig, and more. The main event starts at 9 p.m. hosted by Fort Knox with DJ Kerosene on the ones and twos. Watch it online, attend the live streaming party, or get exclusive tickets to see them live and in person at the legendary Atrium in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Get tickets now at longlivethelegends.com, starting at just $4.99 for the pre-show and up. Sponsored by Crowd Wall Street, Culture Brother Films, Rolling Out, Brantley Media, Onset and Company, Vadu Films, Street Killers Entertainment, and more.